Hey, what's up everybody? BDF 44 coming at you in another video. Alright, so I'm walking around trying to find undershirts because I realized that I lost a few in the laundry, like 2 of them missing. So I have to do laundry sooner than I'd like to in order to have enough undershirts for as much as I use them. So I'm looking for a specific kind, and they don't have them. They sell white cotton, but it's like, I don't want cotton, man. I want that nylon type of shirts that I normally wear, that I only can find on Temu. But Temu, it takes like 6 years for them to arrive at your house. That's the problem with Temu. It takes too long. So I could probably try Amazon, but I'm going to Amazon for specific things. I would prefer to boycott them, to be honest with you. But certain things I can only find on Amazon, like soap. So that's pretty much all I'm buying on Amazon. So it's kind of like I limit myself when I do that, but it's just what's necessary for stand in solidarity with Palestine, because at the end of the day, Amazon is one of the bigger conglomerates that are sending money to Israel for all of Israel's needs. Hey, yo, I'm trying to figure something out, man. So Israel is who we adhere to when it comes to every damn thing there is. I think the world is starting to wake up to the understanding that Israel could literally do whatever they want, and there's nothing more egregious of an example of what they can do than what it is they're actually doing. So if I'd say like they could piss on an animal or something like that, they're doing worse than that right now, right? But the thing that throws me off about this whole Israel thing is, so they don't have any of their own money? What are we, their treasury or something? Like, I'm trying to figure this out. Are we their treasury? Is that what America is? Like, anytime they need a buck, they just go to us? Because if they got all the power, why don't they have control of their own money? They're demanding we send them 30 billion of this. AIPAC demands that we send them 25 billion for that. They're talking about they need us to give them certain types of weapons so they can, enact all these damn crimes. My thing is, if we're adhering to you, and in this world power equals money, why don't you have the money? Why do you need to come to us for the money? That's the part I don't understand. And if you find out the answer to that, you can find out the crux of the corruption. Because if we're in a capitalistic world where the guise is to be great for PR, we're doing everything backwards to bend over backwards for Israel. And as a result, somehow we still have the money they need to do the things they want to do. Where else in the world is that the case? Where you got all the money, but you adhere to me. When else do you see that in this capitalistic world but with that situation? And we got to get them 30 this, 40 that, 50 that, but they can tell us how to feel about them? Where does that work? Since when do billionaires adhere to poor people? Obviously not in the case of Israel when they're bombing the hell out of poor people, but make it make sense just for a second for me. So you're trying to tell me that they can demand us give them money and we'll do it? But they somehow own our government? How do they own our government if they constantly asking our government for money? You figure that out, and I promise you'll get to the bottom of why it's not okay to do literally anything in regards to holding them accountable for the worst stuff that we've ever seen in our lifetime. Why police officers will arrest peaceful protesters in the name of Israel. You figure out that equation, and I think you got the answer to what the hell's going on here. Because they can literally demand of us give them money. And we're going to do it. We're going to do it every time. But then we're afraid to allow our citizens to say anything about them. We're afraid to allow our citizens to protest against their actions. We want to change the laws so that it's not responsible enough for anyone to speak critically of them. Now they want to change it to some anti-Semitism laws to where you can't even speak against these people. We'll go against our own constitution in this era for a people that need our money? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. AIPAC demanding that we send them money for bombs. You must send us bombs. Why the hell am I adhering to you if it's me with the cash and it's a capitalistic world? I'm gonna walk up to a billionaire and say, yo, you must give me money. Where does that work? But when this situation, you must and you can't. Are you telling me what to do? But then again, I'm the one sending you money? So that means I got more money than you. But I adhere to you. There's only one other scenario I've actually seen that in the world, and that's LA gangs. That's it. Where a janitor will be your general. And you will do what he say or you're going to have issues. Other than that, I've never heard or seen anything like what's going on there. In any other walk of life, in my 40 years of life, I've never seen anything like that. They are going against aspects of the Constitution, aspects of good PR, aspects of reasonable lying so that, you know, people could actually not see the lies right in front of you. They're going against all that. And for those people, we give them money? Nah, man, make it make sense. Make that make sense, please. Just for a second, can that make just a little sense? Nah, that ain't gonna make no kind of sense, and that's the problem, man. We adhere to this nonsense, but nobody's able to make it make any sense. So I'm supposed to believe just a exhaustingly bad lie about hostages and all different types of things when they done bombed everywhere the hostages would otherwise be, then turned down every single agreement that they would have had that would have made it so that the hostages could have been free. They didn't turn down every damn agreement. And now I'm supposed to adhere to them by sending them my money? Like I'm the worst guy in the world for not adhering to them, who are killing kids and making fun of the circumstance. Literally murdering children in real time. And I'm supposed to just sit back and say, well, that's not actually happening, or in this case it's fine because 160 hostages may have been taken by the people that are there somehow, and now it's perfectly fine for Israel to wipe them completely out because Israel said they have a right to defend themselves, and therefore I'm listening to the Canadian president essentially say that it's fine to be a Zionist, that Israel has a right to stand, when we literally are finding out that everything in our law book says we can't steal. Everything that we thought we adhered to for the last 450 years basically says you can't take from other people. Now, granted, that's hypocrisy because we literally took this land from the people who were here, but like, we're still on that. How do we live in a space of hypocrisy as it pertains to Israel? And why is it that the entire world is adhering to it? All over the world, every little country is trying to silence whoever is protesting against this. Not just in America, but everywhere. Anywhere there's a protest of this, it's like, nope. And you got willing participants in regards to police officers who clearly see kids are dying, just like the rest of us do. But they're going to say, no, we're going to let this happen, and you don't have a right to say anything about it. It's like, but I just saw like 6 or 7 children die before I even left my house today. But I'm supposed to ignore that because of them, who we adhere to, except for the fact that every time they need money, they come to us. And that makes sense. How? I'm trying to make this make sense. I don't get it. I need somebody to help me understand why, in this capitalistic world we're in, they get to demand our money and tell us we don't have the right to think, speak, hold them accountable for the worst things we've ever seen. None of that is like reasonable. We got to believe lies that we clearly seen with our own eyes are lies. And everybody's adhering to this like it's absolutely the most normal thing. And I'm like, this is absurdity, you guys. It's beyond absurdity. Nothing about what they're saying adds up even a little bit. Nothing about how these politicians are behaving adds up even a little bit. We're completely backwards in regards to our morality as it pertains to these people. Just because of what? They're brown? I don't understand this, man. And I'm supposed to trust politicians and pretend like everything's normal when I'm literally seeing this in my phone, and nobody will acknowledge that I'm seeing this in my phone except for the people who are strong enough to be beaten on while they protested. And on top of all that, as I said at the beginning of this video, the people who are doing this must adhere to our funds. Every time they want to do something, they need to get money from us. You must send us money. Why do I need to adhere to you when you need my money? How is it that you own my government when you keep coming to me for my money? Who is keeping you in place, making you think that you would get away with that anywhere in the world on the streets? Who do you have pictures of? Who do you have by the balls in such a way where they're so afraid that they will adhere to you and give you their money in this capitalistic world where money is supposed to make everything make sense? Money's supposed to be the end all be all. Now, if I don't have that, I can't even take care of myself. I can't even feed the people around me if I don't have money. But in Israel's case, all they got to do is demand it. Literally demand it. And our government sends it over. So this isn't a capitalistic society. It's run by something else. What is it run by? If it isn't a capitalistic society, then why are any of us adhering to the need to keep on working for money? If Israel can just ask for money and we give it to them, why are any of us going to work? See, that's a problem with this hypocrisy we're living through in 2024. Well, everybody's agreed to do this dystopian behavior in the presence of this horrible situation. Everybody's fine with killing kids while it's all being documented on camera. But nobody has a problem with making any of it, at least for just in the slightest way, make any damn sense. Just make some sense. What's stopping my government from saying, nah, fund yourself? If you own us, then why do you need my money? Am I your treasury? And see, that's when it becomes a situation where you start to find out that that's a state. Just like Hawaii, just like Alaska. That's a state. And when you look at it that way, then it all makes sense. Not only is it a state, it's the state. It's the heartbeat of this place. And that's why it's not okay to say anything about them. That's why they get to keep on coming to you for money. That's why they keep on changing the law so you can't protest against them. And everybody that this country has in their back pocket's going to make sure that none of their people protest against them either. Because that's the freaking heartbeat. We ain't never going to go to war with them, no matter how many children they kill, no matter how much money they take from us. We're never going to go to war with those people because they are us. Israel is America. And I'm starting to understand that. It's America, fam. This is the land, but that is where they take their orders from. That is where our government takes its orders from. That is where our media take their orders from. That is where the people who are in cahoots from us take their orders from. It all is in that little hub right there with that star and that blue and white. That's what it's really about. Not the 50 stars on our flag, but the one in the middle of theirs. That's what it all makes. That's what is your God, America, and the Western world. That's your God. And unfortunately, it's a bad one because it wants to kill children in real time. And that, my friends, is never going to be okay. Whether you're on this side of the fence, that side of the fence, both sides of the fence, don't care. It's never okay to kill children, people. Not even if they took yours. Not even if they killed 100 of your people, is it fine for you to kill a bunch of their kids? And whoever told you that it's fine to do that lied to you about how math should actually be done on this planet. That's bad math. But because they are the God of the earth, apparently, who get to snap their fingers and demand our dollars that we work so damn hard for, we're going to just do it. They're going to push all of their power to the front of the line, and they're going to essentially tell you, you got to do this. You have to do this. You have to give us money. You have to turn the other cheek while we kill everybody that we want to kill. And you got to shut up about holding us accountable, and you never blame us for anything, even if our lies don't add up. Those are rules for you. You can't do none of what we do, but we can do it, and you bet not say nothing about it. And y'all want the people of the world, the regular of us, to just look around and say, yeah, that's fine, that's good. That's good. Yeah, that's acceptable. They're the gods of the earth. If they want to kill a bunch of kids, cool. I mean, if they want to do away with all of our, morals the entire moral compass. If they want to turn it on its axis and flush it down the toilet, it's fine. Turn it on its axis. Make TikToks about it. Do whatever you want to do. And not only that, but I'm going to shut up about it and I'm going to give you my money. All of it. Take all of it. Because you are who I adhere to. I tell you right now, man, if that's the math y'all doing, if that's the math you're doing, it's going to fall apart anyway. Whatever it is you're trying to keep up with is going to fall apart if that's the math you're doing. And I'm telling you, people are going to get to a point where they start to look around and realize what I'm saying if they haven't already. You're adhering to your bosses so that you can pay your bills. You're adhering to the government and paying taxes because you have to. You go to jail if you don't. You're adhering to all these different things in capitalism, doing all these different things to make sure you have enough money. Foregoing all different types of things in the name of making sure that you can be responsible in that regard. And you got the entity that controls everything that doesn't have to do that. An entity that can not only control you, but also take from you what it is you're working hard for and do the worst things possible and demand you not say anything about it. It's not enough for them to control everything. They have to do the worst things in the world while doing so. And we have to pretend like it ain't happening, like we don't see it. And if we do see it, we better behave as if we don't see it. It's just absolute absurdity. On top of the psychopathic nature of it all, on top of the not so very wise nature of allowing individuals to have that much power, especially when they don't have a lot of sense, which they obviously don't, since none of their lives come together. Everything about wisdom, everything I understand about being wise is the opposite of how those who are most in control are behaving. And I'm supposed to be fine with that. I'm supposed to ignore everything I know about making damn sense, math, or anything like that because of them and the fact that we adhere to them, except for they need our money for everything they want to do. What? What? Never mind what side of the fence I'm on. Never mind if I feel like this is okay or not. You're telling me that they need our money to do this? But they have control over us. But they need our money. But they have control over us. But they need our money. It doesn't make sense. That's not how the world works. So how is it that for which makes the world beat, the heartbeat of the earth works that way? Where they can demand funds for wrongdoings and we can't hold them accountable for those wrongdoings. With our voices, with our actions, with our bodies, whatever we're going to do, we don't have a right to do that. But they have a right to take our life's blood and fund horrible things. Horrible things. Things that we would call each other psychopaths for doing, are the things that they're allowed to do. I thought money ran this earth. I thought it was money that we were all trying to chase. I thought that's what it was about. But apparently, it ain't for them. Something else keeps us under their thumb, and it ain't money. Essentially what I'm saying to you. Something else makes us adhere to their wrongdoings, and it's not money. Because every time they need money, who are they turning to? Us. It's us Israel turns to for money. So how is it that they control every damn thing? So many people are trying to behave like they're supposed to behave so that things can stay together, that they don't realize what it is that keeps it together doesn't make any sense. It's bound to fall apart. It doesn't make any sense. While y'all so deep into your behavior, whatever way you feel about it, you have to stop and say, how does this even operate properly going forward now that the rug has been pulled from underneath all of this and the hypocrisy of it all is shown? Even if I were a flat out Zionist, I'd have to look around and say, yo, this ain't gonna work. This can't work with everybody realizing it's bull. It can't work if I'm expecting everybody to pay into the taxes that now everybody knows is being it's funding the worst things in the world. We got neo-Nazi type people demanding our funds and we're just flushing it over. I guess I'm supposed to just pretend I don't see that. I don't see it. over the last 219 days, I didn't see none of that happen. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I'm going to work. If I happen to be a police officer and you happen to be protesting that, I'm going to tell myself that you are a terrorist, even though the terrorism properly defined is the behavior you're protesting. It does not matter, because I'm not going to go against all of this, for which, if I really give it any thought at all, doesn't make much sense at all. And we're all fine with it, because the bombs ain't bursting in our air, right? Yet. See, that's what makes it so damn unwise. We think we're so protected so long as we continue to do this. But those who are doing this are being exposed to the whole world as the worst people in the world. So what happens after that? Well, I tell you what happens after that. They get attacked from every single direction there is. That's what happens then. They get attacked. And what happens to what it is that they're supposed to be keeping together for you? It falls apart. They may be able to stop a few attacks from coming, but when it all comes down on them, and the only thing there to protect them is your seeds, America, your kids, they sending your army over there. When their little IDF get wiped out, and it's gonna get wiped out, who they gonna send over to protect their ass? Who is our government, who's adhering to them by something other than money, gonna send over there to die for their sins? You, American citizen, you, my friend, you, white nationalists, they're sending you over there to die for their nonsense. And your government's gonna let them do it. You know why they're gonna let them do it? Because it ain't money that holds them accountable. It's not money that is their power. Because anytime they need money, they just go to you, point, and you're gonna send it. And dare you not. Dare you not. I'm telling you, anybody who try to make any sense of this is lost. They're lost. Their minds don't function in a proper light. Anybody that's okay with this is sick. If something happened to you, or something is going to happen to you, one way or another, because karma is real. But nevertheless, you should not be going along with this. You should not be going along with this. Because eventually the world is going to implode because of people like that who control the world and want to do the worst things in the world with all the power that they have. If I had all the power in the world and I could adhere to no one, and I could demand money from the most powerful country in the world, do you know what I would be doing? Good things. Good things. Educating people, feeding people, finding people who can't help themselves and helping them. That's what I would do with my power if I were Israel. You would be thanking me every 3 hours for all the good I do. I wouldn't be killing nobody. I wouldn't be wiping nobody out. I don't have anybody that holds me accountable. Why the hell do I need to be wiping anybody out? You got all the power in the world, and you could demand money from the biggest country in the world. And you have threats? Who's threatening you? Who's threatening you? Make it make sense. They're trying to protect themselves from what? They're paranoid. How are they paranoid if they got all the power? And how do they have all the power if they don't have none of the money? None of this makes any sense. I tell you what does make sense, but it ain't going to add up for a lot of y'all who don't believe in God. You understand what I'm saying? When you enter the spiritual aspect of it and realize it's a demonic force and that the world is a demonic place, then you understand why it's demonic energy that's running every damn thing. And people adhering to it like they don't see it. It's because it's spiritual. And half the people around you are evil in their own way, or godless in their own way. That makes more sense than anything that I've actually seen in all of this. The spiritual aspect of it is what actually makes all this come together. Where you can stand in a space, see horrible things and not say anything. Look at the people who are holding the people who are doing it accountable and call them who are doing the wrong things. And you can project all of your bad energy onto somebody else. Call things what you want to call them. No, that's not evil. That's good. No, that's not good. That's evil. Like, only the spiritual aspect of it makes it truly make sense. Everything else is just, it's nonsense. It's people acting like they don't see what they see. And I guess because I'm here or something, although I don't actually know what here actually is, I'm supposed to just act like I don't see it. I'm supposed to just fall in line and say, yo, I look around, I don't see nobody else talking about this, so I better not talk about this because that's that's what we do. I just don't, I'm not wired that way, man. That's not the frequency I'm on. I'm not on the let's huddle together and go off a cliff together sheep frequency. That frequency is not the one I'm on, man. I'm on the look at y'all fall off that damn cliff frequency. What the hell is wrong with you? I'm gonna stay over here. That's the frequency I'm on. So when I see stuff like this, it's like, no, I can't go along with that. I can't go along with that. You're gonna have to make me want to go along with that somehow. And as it pertains to this, I don't know how you do that. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know how you do that. Not with what I've seen in this phone over the last 218, 19 days. I don't know how you do that. I don't know. I don't know what keeps people silent, but the stuff that I've seen, I don't. Nah, man. And see, the thing is, I'm not one of those people that's saying, man, because I believe in God, I'm gonna speak up. No, even if I didn't, I'd still speak up. You don't have to be no God. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of y'all move on that frequency. And that's a beautiful thing if you're adhering to the Lord. But it's like, kids are dying, man. People are suffering. I'm not waiting for a deity in the sky to confirm that something needs to be done to stop it. Especially when the people who are doing it are living in complete hypocrisy and confusion in regards to whether or not they're adhering to God or don't believe in God and are doing whatever it is they want to do. They're doing both at the same time. It's like we're doing this for God, but we don't believe in God, so we're being God instead. It's like none of it makes any sense at all. And whatever hypnosis that is not what I'm on. I don't understand that. I'm not going to understand that. There's no part of me that's going to adhere to it either. I'm not afraid. Maybe I'm too stupid to be afraid. Maybe everybody else is more intelligent than me, which is why they're fine with kids dying in front of them. I'm not okay with it. I'm not okay with it. Especially when I know that they are hurting people that are not holding them accountable, but people who cannot hold them accountable. They're attacking the weak. So in the presence of understanding that they're attacking the weak, I'm supposed to be what, weak? Make it make sense. Them babies didn't hold them accountable for this nonsense. Them babies didn't shoot at them or take any of their hostages. The babies that they're killing didn't do anything to them at all. So what I'm supposed to do, nothing at all, and wait for them to come kill me? Or I'm safe for some unknown reason. I guess I'm safe. As I behave like those babies they're killing, for whatever reason, I'm safe. None of that makes any sense. It's not going to make any sense. And anybody who's adhering to it has to accept the fact that they're living in a space that doesn't make any sense. And if you're comfortable with that, then you're wired differently than me, because I'm not. I try to make sense of my day. I do push-ups because I want my chest to come to a certain point where it looks like it's strong. I go to sleep because I want to replenish the energy that I need. I eat for the same reason. I want to replenish energy. A lot of this has to be done to make sense. It has to. It's a reason why I do everything I'm doing. I'm walking down this street because I know I can get to the place I want to go to get there. I'm not walking down here aimlessly. I'm talking into this phone because I'm hoping, with intentions, that somebody will hear what I'm saying and make some sense of what it is that they're living through. It's no, I'm just doing it. There's none of that. I put insoles in my shoes because I don't want my feet to hurt. There's reasons for every single thing I do. So as it pertains to trying to make sense of the world around me, do you think my brain works any differently? No. Hell no. Israel doesn't make any sense. The moral compass surrounding how people view Israel doesn't make any sense. The behavior that Israel's engaging in is not consistent. It doesn't make any sense. The fact that we adhere to giving them money to do the evil things that they do and hold one another accountable for holding them accountable doesn't make any sense. Police officers who are arresting protesters do not make any sense. Don't tell me you're just doing your job. It doesn't make any sense. You're watching people hurt children and you're fine with it. That is dystopian, fam. Were you under a hypnosis? It doesn't make any sense. And we're supposed to be cool with it. We're supposed to let our kids just live in a world where people can do this. It's like, no, I'm not going to do that, man. I don't care about who disagrees with me. I don't care about who's under whatever hypnosis from behind their walls, who are standing in front of trucks trying to keep people from getting food because they think there's some type of a threat to them, even though they are no threat to them, because they can control everything and demand my money from me whenever they want to do any damn thing. Who is hurting you when you have the United States government behind you in your wrongdoings? I don't even have the United States government behind me in my wrongdoings. I'm a U.S. citizen and I don't have my country behind me in my wrongdoings. If I want to go do something horrible, I don't get to demand money from my government to do it. How does this make any sense? It does not make any sense. It ain't going to make any sense. And because it doesn't make any sense, somebody has to make it make sense for me to shut up about it. Period. I don't care if you're from that or this or that or believe this or that. It doesn't make any sense. You could say it's fine that it's okay. We steal their land. We can kill their kids. We can do this. We can do that. All of that doesn't add up at all when you start talking about the pecking order of how things work. We do everything to make sure we have money. Money is what's supposed to control everything, so I thought. Power, money. Money, power, right? Except for if I'm them and I want to commit genocide, I can demand money. Wait, what? How do you own us if not the transaction of funds going a certain direction to adhere so that we would adhere to your nonsense? I thought you owned my government, so you're not paying them in money? What are you paying them in? Because every time you need something done, you're demanding money from them. So how the hell do you own them? Why are they silent? Why are they complicit? What keeps them under your thumb? And if you want regular gumshoes like me to shut up about it, you got to make that make some damn sense. Don't just tell me to adhere to it. I'm going to say no with my free thought. And then I'm going to ask you, what the hell? Just like I would anybody else that's doing something that doesn't make any damn sense. What the hell? And it's completely fine for them to turn our moral compass upside down and flush it down the toilet. Completely fine. That everybody act like they don't see this or give me the same old tired Hamas narrative every single time I ask anybody, why is this happening? Well, you know, why is Hamas holding the hostages? Fam, they didn't kill everything in the area. It ain't even a dog or a cat alive around there. Where the hostages would be? Where are they? Where would they be? You destroyed everything. You flushed everybody out on foot all the way across the country. Where would the hostages be? I ain't supposed to be thinking that. That is not supposed to enter my mind. It's rude for me to ask such questions. Dare I think this way? Dare I even question this? What about Hamas? What about Hamas? Didn't you appoint Hamas all the power that they have? They're a faction of you. Oh, I'm not supposed to know that. Sorry for being rude. Dare my free thought be so very offensive to you? Of course, I'm anti-Semitic. Now, how that definition goes from one thing to the next, how you guys can change the meaning of words so that people can be what it is you want them to be, and you can be whatever it is that you don't want to be, or vice versa, whatever the case. I'm not supposed to ask those questions. Those are critical thinking questions that I am rude for thinking and asking. Critical thinking questions like, why is it okay for you to kill children? Well, why is it okay for Hamas to take 172 of our hostages? Why is it okay for you to kill 40,000 people for 172 hostages? What type of math is that? How is it that you're supposed to tell me that my life matters 3 years ago and then tell me that that's the type of math you're working with when somebody hurts one of yours? Make it make any sense at all, friends. Just a little, just like some. And you got entire governments forking over billions of dollars so that these people can engage in this type of behavior? What? I'm not supposed to be at all concerned with this because it's not happening to my kids, right? That's what it is. You can kill those people kids because I guess they had a couple people over there who were bad guys. So all the babies around, we safe, so it's fine. It's unbelievable. I'm walking past kids right now, and I'm supposed to be fine with you killing someone on the other side of the globe because it's over there, and it's because it's them doing it? with my money, I'm telling you right now, man, certain things have to make sense in order for me to go along with it. I'm not going to just go along with whatever anybody says, bro, just because they are them and therefore. I don't believe in you. I believe in God. If you want me to believe in you, you got to give me a reason to, and you give me every reason not to, Israel. I have no reason to believe in you. None. And if you want, you torturing those people over there to make me fear you, that doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make sense to me. Because the only people you're actually hurting are people who can't hurt you or refuse to. You're not hurting violent people. You're not arming your soldiers against people who are doing anything to you. You're arming yourselves against children. Children. So why would I believe in you as a God that I need to adhere to and respect and obey? Or fear? When you don't even make sense of the things that you do. Don't cover your backside enough to make your lies make any damn sense. They're easily uncoverable. Why would I believe in you? Why would I leave my kids to be under your thumb going forward without resistance when everything you do makes me not believe in you? I'm supposed to listen to these crazy ass compromised politicians who are doped all the way up? Doped all the way up. You think I don't know that people on drugs? Are you kidding me? Half of them politicians are on drugs, fam. And I'm supposed to adhere to them? It don't make any damn sense. It doesn't make any damn sense.
Get your military in.
And that's the whole point, man. They make about as much sense as his ass does. He could be your next president. He could be in that Yahoo spot just as much as a Yahoo as that dude is. Oops, I'm not supposed to say that because it's illegal. Well, he's literally a psychopath killing children with our money. Nah, man, I don't give a damn how many laws you change. There's no way in hell that's gonna add up. I don't care how many times you try to make that illegal, how many years you want to put on somebody for saying that, it's not gonna add up. It's just you changing the laws to fit the wrongdoing that you do. Because you don't believe in God, even though you're doing this in the name of land that you believe God should be able to give you. Because what exactly? You said God gave you that money, that land. Why? And please tell me that you're chosen for something. Tell me you're chosen for something. Because of what? It's just garbage. It doesn't make any sense. It ain't never gonna make any sense. It's racism and fear that's making this come together. Racism and fear. Fear of being exposed for all of these messed up politicians all over the globe, and racism for those who want to power it. And the motivation behind why it's okay to kill those kids and leave them in the dust, and why you wouldn't feel that way about your own children or somebody else's who happens to be white. The shit is wrong. The shit is wrong. I don't care how many people you get to agree with that nonsense. I don't care how many laws you change to try to make it so that it's fine to do. It is wrong. And anybody with half a thought in their head that adds up in any way should be able to see that with the information. Not to mention that it's absolutely another psychopathic behavior. See, this would be bad if it wasn't people dying in the process of it. It's still got a lot wrong with it. It's still enough for us to be stopping. But the fact that they want to kill children in the midst of all of this, that's when it becomes something that needs to be stopped. Never mind who agrees with it. Never mind how many people have to die for that to happen, unfortunately. Including myself. Most definitely including myself. You think for 1 second I'm going to allow myself to live comfortably without sacrificing myself to keep those kids from being dead? keep these people from continuing to move in this behavior that allows children to be smashed under rubble with their eyes popped out their damn sockets? No, I'm not making this up. It's exactly what I saw. So did millions of other people who have an Instagram account. They saw it too. And to think, that was probably the 3,000 or 4,000th picture like that I'd seen over the last 219 days. Yeah, I know, I'm not supposed to know this though. I'm not supposed to, it's rude for me to say that. It's rude. Dare I? Anti-Semitic I am. Oh, I'm the worst guy in the world. Dare I? BDF 44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.